In 2012, two families left the city along with the conveniences of modern American living. Today, our family has decided to live in the mountains of the American Ozarks to build for themselves a more sustainable and fulfilling lifestyle.
We are An American Homestead.
This week on An American Homestead, we head to the county fair and see the winners. We're hoping for lots of blue ribbons. Plus, we take inventory on the homestead chicken and turkey flocks. Thanks for watching, and be sure to visit us online at anamericanhomestead.com. Okay, so we're heading down the road. We're going to the county fair, and we're going to see what ribbons are in store and just enjoy the fair tonight. So we'll see you when we get there. Cheaply built carnival rides. Made in China. I used to go every year to our school picnic, and every year at our school picnic we had these kind of rides, these cheap carnival rides. And so I grew up riding these things, but now as an adult they just seem so pointless and crappy. All right, we're back from the fair, and we have all of our ribbons. We did way better this year than we've done in years past. We have actually a lot more money that we brought home this year. We have less ribbons. We entered less items, but I think the quality of our items has been very much improved. You know, it's our third year doing this now, and so we've gained a lot of experience. Jamie got her highest award ever that she's gotten for any of her canned goods. Do you want to talk about that?
I got the Fresh Preserving Award for my dill pickles. Actually got first place with my dill pickles in the pickles category, and then they took it beyond that because they pick one in each category to get a Fresh Preserving Award. So that basically means that I get a gift certificate toward purchasing ball or cur products. So I got that for my dill pickles, and I got the same thing for my peaches.
Someone made a comment when we did our last episode that those peaches were surely going to be a winner, and they were a winner. So, and they look great. The sorghum won grand champion. May pops that we entered won best of show. Believe it or not, I couldn't believe that. And that actually is a higher prize than the grand champion. And so that's the best thing we did this year was the May Pops. And a variety of other things we entered did really well. And so we're very excited about that. Joanne won a number of ribbons, but she won. We were most excited about this one, and the judges were too. They put a note on her tag saying that they were very impressed with this. And she won a first place blue ribbon with her pillow. So that turned out really great. Anyway, we brought home over $60 in checks, just about $60 in checks, and so that's the most we've ever won. Plus, the gift certificates that Jamie will be getting in the mail for her 2 winnings over here. So overall, really good time at the fair. Excited we did it. And every year we gain a lot of experience and we have a lot of good conversations with people we interact with. And that makes it all worth it. Baby donkey Max got into some burrs the other day, and out in his pasture, yeah, I know, and he was just miserable. And so we're trying to cut these off, and they're kind of hard to get to some places, and some of them have gotten kind of deeply embedded in his fur. And I noticed it yesterday, and I was like, oh man, I got to do something about this. I got to cut these out. And so, and you could tell it was just making him miserable. And so that's what we're out here doing right now. He doesn't seem to mind most of them, but watch out, buddy. And but some of them he does mind when you're cutting them, and they're quite uncomfortable. So we're trying our best to get these taken out of old Max here. So some of these I just don't feel qualified enough to get to, like this one in his ear right here. It's too close to the side of his ear. I know, Willow. And I just don't feel like I want to cut into that and maybe nick his ear. So I think, I think most of these will fall off when he loses his winter coat in the springtime. And so, he's never gone through that before. So I think at some point that'll happen. But I've cut most of these off now, but it's just this, there's a couple, like the ones in his ear. I know. And there's some on his side over here that are just too deeply embedded. I'm just worried about getting. He won't let me get to him. So, but most of the ones on his neck, on his face, he had a bunch of them on his forehead. I cut most of those off, and so I think we'll just watch it real close. And if I see, it's getting to be a problem, I may have to take him into town or find someone who knows what they're doing a little bit better. Or maybe shave them. I have clippers. But I really don't want to have to do that. So I'm just going to I've cut most of them off. We'll just take a wait and see approach.
I'm making gates and a little fence to go around the kitchen, because the chickens are constantly getting in there and pooping all over the floor. And then when it rains, I get 30 birds all congregated in there, and they make such a mess. So I'm making a fence. So I made a jig and fastened it to the floor so I can make several gates for the kitchen. So we'll open up the gates, and it'll just open up for easy access into the kitchen.
So it's about 7:30 in the morning, and we're heading out to the chicken coop to let the chickens out free range for the day. So there's all the chickens. They're waiting to get out.
And the guineas.
There's the guineas. Access to what?
I opened that door so the birds have access to their nesting boxes. All right, well, the status of our chickens. We have coming towards the end of the season for brooding. We've ended up with about 80 some odd chickens. But then there's a late brooder too, so she may hatch out another couple more. It's getting so late in the season for brooding. And we ended up with hatching out 13 guineas. That brings our total to 15 of our guineas now to conquer the ticks on our homestead. And we ended up with 16 turkeys. We're looking forward to raising some more next year and having food for the rest of the year. So I think that adds up to something like about 113 birds that we currently have. And that's a lot of birds. We're 3 years into our chicken coop. It's really working well. Looking back in hindsight, I wish I'd have made it bigger. I remember in a previous video, it says you need a chicken coop, and if you think you have it big enough, make it bigger. Well, I'm looking at it now. I wish it was just a little bit bigger. I hate for the birds to be overcrowded. But one thing I really like about it is the division in the middle. So I can have adult birds on one side and young pullets on the other side, and they keep the two separate flocks. Because if I purchase birds, I don't like to let them free range till they're about 6 weeks old, because I don't have any mother birds to have to look after them. So it's really working well having two sides to the chicken coop. Yeah, the number of birds we have right now is rather high, and I'm kind of overcrowded. But as the year progresses, we'll start butchering birds and canning birds. So by January, we may be down to, I don't know, 30 or 40 birds at that time. Okay, for our turkeys, we have, I think I said something like 16 turkeys. We have 4 blue slate turkeys and the rest are Narragansett turkeys. I think we'll probably eat all of the blue slate turkeys, and then I'll save 3 or 4 of the hens of the Narragansett and a tom, maybe 2 toms. Really not sure yet. They're still so young, I still have time to decide. And then we're looking forward to next year to raising quite a few more turkeys. So my plan is not to buy turkeys anymore. The Narragansett turkeys are supposed to really be a good brooder. They raise well in captivity and they breed and they brood very well. So I'm hoping that with the quantity of hens that we keep, we won't be buying any more turkeys. So we'll be able to raise our own. One thing I've really learned about the turkeys, they are mean. Chickens, you can introduce a stranger into the flock and they put up a fuss and they'll fight a little bit and reestablish their pecking order. But a turkey, I've noticed, you put strangers into the flock regardless of the age, they will fight until one of them finally kills one of them. I put the little babies in with the adult turkeys, and right away they attacked and killed one, almost killed another. So valuable lesson learned. Don't introduce strangers into a flock of turkeys. So it's consequently, because they're so mean and they're going to kill off all our babies, I moved 3 of the older turkeys over into our, what we call our guinea coop. It's kind of a spare coop that we use for overcrowding, and at various times we put birds in there. So I put the 3 of them over there just to isolate them to protect our younger birds, because they're important to us.
Each one of these eggs are counted so that we have a full count for the year. Spring, summer, winter, fall, all seasons, we know how many eggs our chickens are producing all the time. Tim counts every single one of these eggs so that we know our production levels, and we know when they're dropping, we know when they're rising, and so he keeps a log of all the eggs that we harvest from our chicken coop. Hey Hey, so last year we experimented with growing shiitake mushrooms, and they turned out fantastic. They were great, they were huge, and they were very tasty. Me and Jamie loved them. Tim loved them as well. And we decided to up production, and we installed some new logs and inoculated them with the shiitake mycelium, and they're growing. Check this out. Look at that. Amazing. Coming out all over. Amazing. So all over here, these things are growing, and it's the fall. It seems like it's been really cool lately. There's been a lot of water, and so these things are really producing. And we're gonna have a video coming out soon where we talk about our upping of production of shiitake mushrooms on the homestead, and I want you guys to join in for that. And so the way you stay up to date on new videos like this one that we're gonna do on the shiitake mushrooms is to go to the subscribe button on YouTube, and there's a little cogwheel. You click on that cogwheel, and it'll allow you to stay updated. Anytime we come out with a new video, you'll be notified of it. So you make sure you don't miss anything. These are gonna be tasty, and so they're starting to grow. We're gonna save them for the kitchen maybe in about a couple days, and Jamie's gonna probably saute them up. But make sure you stay tuned for upcoming videos, especially the one on the shiitake mushrooms and other mushrooms that we're gonna be doing in the future. So just like last week, we're ending up right back here at our propane tank and our gas line, and Tim decided to go ahead and just buy the 5/8 inch copper piping and install it ourselves. It wasn't that hard of a job. We had the proper tools we needed, and so we purchased the pipe, installed it, and tomorrow we have a guy from the gas company who's coming out, who is a fan of our channel. Thank you very much. And is going to do just a courtesy check for us to make sure there is no leaks in the line. So we really appreciate that. And you know, we've installed some foam padding along the whole pipe length here to make sure that if there's ever any other movements in the soil, you know, with the rocks brushing up against the copper pipe, that it's not going to have a repeat of what we have experienced this time. So hopefully that will protect the line from here on out. But like we've said before, it's always good to have alternatives to be able to cook with. We have many different ways to cook around the homestead, and I'll again refer you to the article that we have on our website, the 9 different ways that we cook off-grid, and you can check that out on our website, AnAmericanHomestead.com, or it'll be in the links in the description below or in the cards above. All right, guys, we really appreciate you guys tuning in again each week. We really want to send a thank you out to all of our patrons. Folks, without you guys, all this would not be possible to be able to come to you each week, many times a week, and share with you what we're doing in our lives here on the homestead. So if you're not a part of our Patreons, go ahead and check them out. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please do so. Your subscription means very much to us. And share us on Facebook, Twitter, all of your social media hangouts that you guys frequent on a regular basis. All right, guys, we'll see you next time on An American Homestead. Yeah.
Oh, that one got Grand Champion too. Oh, this would have been team for Ricky.
Yeah.